Hey, what's up guys? It's once again Dan with the Gaming Nonsense Uncensored. We just got in our Pathfinder Advanced Class guide. Gonna give you a quick rundown, see what you get for the money, see what you think of it. Alright. First things first, we're gonna take a look at the new classes. We got the hybrid classes of Arcanist, Blood Rager, Brawler, Hunter, Investigator, Shaman, Skald, Slayer, Swashbuckler, War Priest, and then everything for all the other classes. You got all your additional archetypes and class options. Got a couple of new feats, a couple of new spells, gear and magic, and then designing classes. Alright, so let's see what we got. And we'll try to keep this as neat as possible. Alright, so in your new classes, the Arcanist, who's a combination of Sorcerer and Wizard. And here's going to be your table. We're going to get basically Arcanist exploits. They're going to get access to an Arcane Reservoir, which sounds beyond dope actually. And I like this, consume spells and consume magic items. So they seem like an interesting class. A little something different to try out. We also got the Blood Rager. The Blood Ranger is going to be a combination of Barbarian and Sorcerer. That sounds very awesome. Basically, you're going to be able to flip out, murder everything, and then also have additional abilities of magic with your blood, like hardening your blood so it's harder to kill you, things like that. They also have different bloodlines, just like sorcerers, like the Aberrant, the Abyssal, demonic immunities, all that type of stuff. They also have Fey, Infernal. Up next is the one that I find pretty interesting, the Brawler, who is a combination of the Fighter and Monk. Here's why I love this one. You see here the table, it's pretty much akin to like how your monks worked before. They can use feats, like they have this thing, Brawler's Cunning, that'll allow them to always have Intelligence 13 for checking out feats. So if it's something about fighting, they're ready. They get Martial Flexibility, which lets them get access to feats that they normally don't have, which is crazy. And here's what I love. The Knockout Punch. At 4th level, you can basically just Mike Tyson somebody. You just blast them on their ass. You have to make a difficulty check against your level, half your level, 10, and the higher modifier between your strength and dex. Doesn't make a difference which one is better. If you get it, 1d6 rounds, they're on the floor. Every turn they can make another save to get up. Then we got the Hunter. You're a combination Druid Ranger. So basically you got Animal Companions, you got Empathy, Precision Strikes. It's a pretty interesting class. I always thought the Ranger was Druid enough. I think a Ranger Druid might be like overkill for me. We got the Investigator, who's an Alchemist and Rogue. Also known as the class that I'm playing next, because I like the Alchemist. He seems pretty cool. But this guy seems very awesome. Basically, you get the same deal of alchemy, just a few different extract, like a few less potions and everything. They're really good at trap sensing, stuff like that. We got the Shaman, who's your combination Oracle Witch. They seem pretty cool too. Not too familiar with the two classes from the last book, so not going to get into that too much. But they have the same thing, like they follow the elements, the heavens, they can follow life, lore. So they got like a nice little variety to them. They also get a spirit animal. That part does sound pretty cool. The Skald, who's the Barbarian Bard. It could be pretty cool if you have a group of like outsiders and everything. Seems pretty interesting. Again, anytime you got a fighter class that has access to spells, you're going to murder. The Slayer is a combination Ranger Rogue, which also sounds very awesome. It's nice to have the idea of a D10 hit dice character that also gets 6 plus intelligence modifier skill ranks. Most fighter classes you're getting like 2 or 3. It's nice to see that huge group. You're going to notice over here, they still get sneak attack, not as often as rogues, but still very awesome. And you can't say that it doesn't sound cool to go, oh, I leveled up, I get a Slayer talent. That's just awesome. Swashbucklers, they're fighter and gunslingers. So basically you're the 3 Musketeers, kind of sounds like. What else? We got the War Priest, who's a cleric fighter, which, to me kind of sounds like a paladin, but I guess not. What's pretty cool is they actually get like sacred weapon bonuses. They get blessings, focus weapons. So it sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a little something nice. And then there's like darkness blessing, death blessing, evil blessing, fire blessings. So just like how your deity decides your cleric, the blessings in this align the same way. Travel blessings, sun blessing, all that. Then they note, you see over here, here's all your racial bonuses, like an elf, an arcanist. Increase the total number of points in the arcanist arcane reservoir by 1. Blood Rager, add 1 foot to the base speed. So, every race, they got a whole bunch of modifiers for the different classes now. Helps you feel like a little more tied into what you are. Some of the archetypes for the other classes, you're going to see generally like 2 to 3. It's not too bad. I like it a bit. One thing that I thought was great is, I have an interest in the alchemist type. And I always thought, well, be a fighter, level up once, class change to alchemist. Now when you use your mutagens, you have access to all the weapons and all the armors, and you murder everything. They basically made a fighter subtype, so I never have to look into that. What I think is really hysterical is take, for example, for brawlers, you can have a mutagenic mauler, which is basically you have alchemy mutagens and the same deal. You take mutagens, you boost up your stats, you're pounding people's faces in even better. But if you look here, there is the shield champion archetype, and at 5th level you can have a returning shield, aka Captain America. They have like tons of these different types and everything. So this is like all the classes. This is going to take forever to go through. We're just going to flip through this faster. Oh my god. Okay, so no matter what class you are, you cannot say, oh, I don't know what I want to be, because now you have 50 different subtypes in addition to your 30 character choices. Here is something else that people always like, new feats. Some of the feats that I found interesting, take for example over here, Evolved Companion. You need a Charisma 13 and an Animal Companion class feature, but your companion gains a 1-point Eidolon evolution. Eidolon evolutions are from the summoners, so you can basically be like, oh yeah, my bear, he has a tentacle out of his back. Or my dog, he has razor claws now. That's kind of cool. It's weird. I mean, I can understand some GMs being like, no, you can't take that. But still, it's pretty cool stuff. So you're going to get a lot of new feats, which is pretty sweet. You get everything to like literally like a dueling cape combat style. But there's definitely some awesome things in here. I'm looking forward to immediately murdering my current character just so I have an excuse to use some of the new stuff from here. How can you go wrong with rage casting and raging blood? Even like recovered rage. You regain rounds of rage or raging performance when you drop a foe. It's like, okay, I only have 1 round of rage left. Oh, I just murdered that goblin. I'm good. Stuff like that's awesome. Then your new spells. I mean, they got new spells for everyone. The Alchemist, Anti-Paladin, Bards. Again, one of my personal favorites. For the Bard, alter music instrument. Make one instrument sound like a different kind of instrument. Any first level bard, like a bard that takes that as their first level spell, I love that. It's not useful for combat, but it's just fun, you enter, tell the GM you want your bard to enter a talent competition in town. Have when some guy goes up with the harp, make it sound like drums. Just stuff like that. They got spells for all the classes, a couple of new things. And, of course, for sorcerers and wizards, tons of new stuff. Adjustable polymorph. Alter self, but you can change the shape as a swift action, as a 4th level spell. Aggressive thundercloud. Great amount of new spells. I'm happy also for more summoner spells. The one time I made a summoner, the only thing I ever took was summon monster, summon monster, summon monster. It's nice to see a couple of new ideas. We're going to jump forward a few of the spells to check out a couple of the items real quick. Of course, for one of the greatest spells ever, the Unholy Ice Weapon. It's frozen unholy water. So, we got some new items here. The Animal Call, Arcanist kits, Blood Rager kits, all the stuff like that. Cipher rings. So, yes, you can actually have it where you have little decoder rings to send messages to each other. Whole bunch of new basic gear. More alchemical tools. I kind of dig that because, again, it adds a bit of flavor to the game. It lets you feel a little more, in there. And even, little gear like this, like the Tome of Epics. Basically, it's like a brightly colored illustrated books of all these performances. After you study it for an hour, for the next 24 hours, you get +2 on any perform or bonus knowledge checks to nobilities. Things like that are just pretty cool. They even have path stones and stuff like that. Alchemical weapons, which is always nice. More armor special abilities and things that you can add into your gear. How can you go wrong with a magical item like the full plate of the corpse? Let's see. So what's really nice is there's a lot more slots and enchantments that you can get into your gear, some new items and weapons. I like the Ring of Summoning Affinity. So it's basically when you cast higher level summons, you can get to add additional creatures to it. Always nice. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, here we go. So here's a whole bunch of new wondrous items. Anytime a GM, wants to throw a little something new into the game, these are going to be some great magic items to help mix up the game, give your players a little something different. Even if you just give them the glowing gourd. Let's see. Alright, so basically here's the cool thing at the end. It's all about designing your own classes. It's nice because they gave you a ton of hybrids in here, but I just kind of dig the fact of you're I want to make my own class. I want to make a magic hunter. I want to make a dragon slayer class. I want to make a mage slayer. They give you ideas on how to go about making the greatest illustration ever of an anti-paladin. They give you just a lot of ideas on how to get around to that, even prestige class design. I know the advanced race guide gave you some options about making your own races. So, it's not too bad. So, all in all, that's the book. The MSRP on this thing is $40. Of course, local game shops might have it on discount. You can always find it a little cheaper online. I kind of think it's worth the price. I want to know what you guys think about it. Let us know in the comments below. And also don't forget to check out our podcast, Gaming Nonsense Uncensored. Find it on iTunes. Look us up on Facebook. Find us on Twitter at GNU Podcast. Let us know what you think of the book and what class of those new ones you're fiending to play. All right, this is Dan signing out, man. Have fun with your Pathfinder.